up for a while, a GoFundMe that was shut down very quickly afterwards, and it was clear that Galena had not gotten the pew pew that she had intended to get with that GoFundMe. And so she, Holly said to her, since, you're not doing that apparently anymore, could I please have my $100 back? And she said it really just like that. And she waited weeks and weeks and weeks to ask for this money back. The day that this all happened, Galena herself had said, I'm closing it down. I'm sending the money back. Okay, so people expected their money back. All right, and Holly tried to be very patient and wait a very long time to ask. And when she finally asked, she was so angry that she went live and started complaining about it. That was what she blew up my whole live when we were doing the petition and everything else. And she blew that live up to go live on her page and complain that Holly had asked for her $100 back. And during that time, she put up a picture of the Cash App that Holly had sent her, and it had her full name on it. And Holly was just going by Holly on this app, so she doxed Holly too. Her full name. She didn't black it out. She did 2 separate videos. In one of them, or screenshots or whatever. In one of them, she did black out, like, I think her last name or something. But Holly doesn't go by her first name either. So she should have blacked it all out. But she didn't. She put all her information out there. And you cannot tell me that was an accident. She was pissed off as hell that Holly had dared to ask for her $100 back. And that, to me, was part of the punishment for daring to ask her for the money back. Was that she was going to get her full name posted on her page. And the harassment happened for Holly, too, for quite a while. She still gets stuff from time to time.
That was the same night she was nodding out on her live.
Huh.
Big time.
Oh, my God. Yes, left and right. That was maybe. I really was blindsided by this. I like, again, so I hadn't really seen her or whatever. I didn't know too much about her in 2023. When I came across her live in May of this year and discovered some of the other things that had happened since I've been gone, I literally thought, oh, well, she's just like, I thought, like, my anxiety about her, honestly, was alleviated or whatever. I was like, oh, she's just a grandma, like, taking care of her grandkids, and she, she's just really a normal person. She had me fooled, you guys. She had me fooled. She did, I'll admit it. She had me fooled. I thought she was a good person. And it was on purpose. It was so on purpose that she did that to poor Holly. So on purpose.
Are you okay?
Who? Our Holly?
Are you? And Holly?
I'm okay. I mean, did she ever pay me back? No. Oh, she paid Holly back. She did give Holly her $100 back. And then when all this imploded and I, started saying, and she was out here calling me a scammer, which, by the way, I don't even think you guys would know about the $400 because it's not like it makes me look very good that I'm out here getting scammed for hundreds of dollars. But, it's the fact that she's calling me a scammer. It's like, no, I'm not going to let someone call me a scammer and then not mention that I lent them hundreds of dollars that they just never bothered to pay back. And and it had been almost 2 months at the point when this happened, and she hadn't paid me back a penny, nor had she even mentioned it ever again.
Didn't she do like a fundraiser for it or something to get you money back?
Yes, and then exactly. I don't know. I'll have to pull that live to watch the whole thing in its entirety. But I really hope no one gave her money, because if they thought, it's laughable to think that she was going to give that money to me. If you guys gave her any money, she kept it. The only thing she gave me was the first night when she was getting called out on it. She sent Holly her 100 back, and she sent me 50 on Cash App and said something about, I'm going to have to pay this in. She's never going to pay me another penny. She's never, because the harassment began right after that. So she gave me $50, and that's all I will ever see back from that money. And again, I don't have money. So it just, you might hear the amount and think, oh, like, you must have money to lend. No, I for real don't. I had a very small amount of money. I had a very small amount of money saved that I had left. I had intended to do something very specific with that money. And she convinced me that basically her and her grandchildren were going to starve to death. So
exposing, we never give money to people on the internet.
I've learned that lesson, okay?
It's a law. It's a rule. I've seen it happen too many times. I just saw Lisa Richards, like 20, 30 minutes before I talked to you.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, that whole situation. That's wild to me. How
Yes,
does
he's still going.
people always yelling at people for money and stuff? Like, what's so weird? She's like, she demands it.
No, it's the people that talk to her on the inside that profit off of. So she's got some people. She definitely does.
Interesting.
Do you guys
Yeah.
follow Gabby
Some,
Jacobson?
What's that?
huh?
Do you guys follow Gabby Jacobson?
I heard that her son
Yeah,
was removed today.
that's what I
What?
heard. It's all over the app.
I
Oh my.
heard Cam got her baby boy got removed and picked up while he was at school.
Yeah, and he's not with family, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
He's probably in a therapeutic foster home right now.
Yeah. Well, sending prayers to them. Hope
Yeah.
everything works
He
out.
needs to get the fuck off alive.
I can't. Yeah, that's another person who it's like it was almost like I didn't know much about her until I came back to this situation, and people kept comparing the situation to the Gabby Jacobson thing, and then that's when I learned more about her, and yeah, that's a whole mess. That's a whole mess, and it is so sad. It is like that poor little guy. Like some of the videos I've seen that these pages have posted, it's just I don't know, very concerning, very very concerning. But
Well, she can't stay off of live, and that's what's scary to me is the
yeah.
addiction for her to be on live all day, every day, coloring while her kid is, you know, he's speaking more, he's talking more. She says he's autistic, and there was never a diagnosis, but he's eligible for pre-K. He's in pre-K, and CPS has been on the safety plan, and she didn't follow the safety plan.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, that's what I heard. Is that, what did Sassy hear? I believe it was
But I know with him being autistic, it's going to be very, very hard for him to be able
if
to.
he's autistic. He's never been formally diagnosed, except for when CPS stepped in and decided to get the kid. I think he's just addicted to his iPad, and that's all he wants to do.
His family, I was told, that's going to be hard for any kids. So I just
Oh
send in
yeah,
prayers and,
big.
hope.
No, the kid's probably gonna have a meltdown if he is autistic. Definite meltdown. He's not gonna sleep. You're gonna have a rough night.
Yeah, so.
It is disturbing. I mean, there's a lot of
The state will force all therapies that are needed to be put in place, and she's gonna have to maintain them. So, I mean, I don't think that he was. There's no telling yet. He could have been completely removed and taken from her, or put on a safety plan outside of the house. But for them to take a kid out of school,
Are you okay if I mute for like 120 seconds?
go do that.
Thanks. I'll be right back.
Will one of you guys talk to me about something?
Yeah, we're counting the seconds, so. Yeah.
She has a bad. She is stuck on TikTok. She really is. Gabby can't stop, and it's just all day, every day. Even though it's gonna be the room.
I know that what I've been seen is safety plan meant she could not have Cam online, and that lasted for a little while, but now I guess he's been on there, so I don't know. It's just sad. It's really sad.
So is that was the part of the safety order that you've heard was broken?
Sassy. Are you asking Sassy?
Yeah.
If you guys can't hear, can you guys let us know? Or if you exit out or in and out, well, I guess you can't hear me. You're not going to hear me say that. Sassy's having trouble too. What keeps happening? Let me switch over to Wi-Fi. I don't know if that'll help.
He's probably bouncing off the walls. Like, who the fuck are you?
Good night. Good night, honeybee. It was good to see you. Yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me. I don't know. I don't know if it's okay. Anna can hear me. You still can't hear me? Hello, what is going on? This was happening before where it was like several people couldn't hear me. And then there were, before I decided to
I
just go
can hear you fine.
Well, up here, there's never a problem. Like if there's a problem on the, like with the people in the comments, we won't be able to know. We won't know. Like they'll know that they're having connection issues, but we won't know. We'll be able to hear each other just fine up here. And so this was this was happening before, and I restarted to try to make it better, but now it's happening again.
Well,
I think Holly fell asleep in the box.
I think so.
I don't get it. Like, why is just a few more people comment if you can hear us just fine. Just let us know that you're able to hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a bummer. I don't know why that's happening tonight. It's just TikTok glitches. Okay, thank you.
Can anyone hear me? I mean,
That's it. Okay.
that's weird.
No, I don't know. I don't know if there's really much left to say, honestly, anyway. I think we pretty much covered it. And what we plan to do next and how we're going to handle things and all the rest.
I should go to bed.
TikTok is trying to get us to go to sleep. I know I'll
We
regret
always say long goodbyes.
I've been saying goodbye for like 45 minutes. Like 45 minutes ago, I said I was going to make this quick.
Yeah.
I was just going to hop back on for a minute. Oh, shoot. Now look at that. Now Deanna says she could hear, but she swiped out and now she can't. What is going on?
I don't get it. Phone down on the ground, stomp on it, and then see if it works.
I think like that might make us all happier. We move to a little. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Steph's not hearing anything either. What is? I'm gonna have to just type something in the comments really quick. Probably just going to end the live, and half the people can't. It's a bummer though. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I mean, since most people can't hear us anyway.
Right.
If there's anything else though before we go.
I guess all the money at the end of the night we'll just keep for ourselves, Exactly. Everybody can hear now, right? Oh gosh. I'm gonna private message you too.
You're what?
I'm gonna private message you.
Okay, yeah.
Did
do
Holly
that.
fall asleep on us?
Say that one more time.
Did Holly fall asleep on us? I think.
Oh yeah, I think she did for sure.
No, at least she doesn't snore. So.
She's
Already. Yeah.
She's on mute. Can you hear now? Can you hear Dio? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
I just don't even. I am at a loss. I'm at a loss with all of this, you guys.
I would say it's time to end the night.
You guys for everything, and I hope that. I mean, I'm glad that you got. Thank you for the opportunity to thank you for hearing me out. There were a lot of people who didn't even do that. I couldn't really. I couldn't get here fast enough to dispel some of the stuff that was being said, right? Like I just had things going on that I had to deal with. Gosh darn it, what a bummer. Okay. Well, we're probably just gonna have to end it because most people are not hearing it. Deanna, Cairo, Polo, no, no, no. I think I'm gonna wish everyone a beautiful evening here in a second.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's doing it, but for those who can hear me, thank you for hearing me out, for listening to what I had to say on this. I know a lot of people were ready to kind of crucify me, not understanding or knowing what was going on, and automatically assuming that I had some nefarious intent behind the conversation with Susan, and and obviously we're just trying to handle things like adults. Yeah, beautiful morning, beautiful morning. I keep forgetting how late it is. No worries. No worries, girly. Can you hear us, girly? We can't see anything either. What? What in the world?
I think it's time to just say goodnight, everyone.
I'm gonna go through and follow everyone in the comments really quick. Again. And also, again, I mean, kind of sounds to me like this app might go away. So if you guys want to follow me, for now, the name is still the same over on Favorited, the same as this app. So follow me over there if you can. If you can follow the YouTube page, it's the same. I'm just trying to think of where would be the best place to go live from after this, but if we lose the app. But again, and if anyone wasn't here earlier, we're going to change the name of the page. We haven't decided what it's going to be yet, but we're moving on in a different direction. We're going to keep talking about it. But we're also, we've been speaking with Susan. We're trying to move forward positively and not have this, back and forth war. I don't think that gets anyone anywhere. All we want is for Mel to be safe. And I think right now that there was a lot of things that I thought were true that weren't true. Am I saying that be concerned about? No, that's not what I'm saying. And I didn't say anything of the sort. And to work towards doing better. I do. I think that she is not even necessary or whatever for the criticism. I think it did hit her kind of hard when she saw the videos and she heard the audio of Nick admitting to what he admitted to and things like that. I think she didn't love it. She was not happy about it. And I don't know. We just have to do what we could do. And moving forward, trying to support her. I'm losing my words here because I'm getting really tired all of a sudden. But, trying to support someone, I think, is always going to be a better way to support someone to do. And while they're trying to do better, is always going to get us further than attacking someone. It's always going to get us further. And that's so nice, Punky. I saw everybody. I was seeing it, but I was also trying to talk. I was seeing comment after comment. Can you unblock me too? Thank you for unblocking people, Susan, if you're still around. I do, and I have to say, everyone I've talked to has been very. I'm just so proud of. I don't know. I just love you guys. I just love all you guys so much. I just do. People didn't have to so readily, say, you know what, you're right. Maybe we should, try to support her. And there have been a lot of people who've really turned around, who have gone from absolutely despising her to wanting to see her do better. And wanting to see if they can help, in that process. So
At the end of the day, we just want what's best for Mel, and I think us her accepting if she needs help, reach out, is going to help Mel no matter what, the best way.
Right. I think so too. I think we just gotta do what's best for Mel, and I think that what we were doing, honestly, even because, especially because I was wrong about some of it, because I was being lied to, it probably wasn't helpful. How could that be helpful? And that's why we had to just kind of reevaluate entirely. Like, how do we want to move forward from here? Do we even want to move forward? Like, these were the questions we were asking. So, but I'm glad we have decided to.
Yes.
Again, I don't want to suddenly lose you guys. I don't want to suddenly lose touch with you guys.
And I mean, everybody's still gonna have eyes on her, so it's not gonna be.
Yeah, she knows this is happening. We know this is happening. She's seen the video. We've seen the video. She knows the audio. She's heard the audio in full. I've heard the audio in full. Like, I'm just saying that I think maybe there may have been some denial, but that I don't think she's in denial about it right now. Is all I'm saying. I do think it legitimately upset her when she heard the audio.
Right.
But all I know is, again, this is a hard place to be. This is a hard world we find ourselves in, my friends, and I don't want to be part of making someone else's existence more difficult. And that's been a big part of this for me too. We are not gonna, like you just said, we're not gonna just stop talking or thinking about or keeping eyes on or caring about Melanie, and we're not gonna stop trying to work with Susan. And again, she's like readily accepting. She's accepting a lot of what we are suggesting. She's agreeing that she will send Nick to therapy, and not only that, some type of rehabilitation therapy to help him understand, truly understand, why and how and why, to learn how to better speak to him about it. And so I hope so too, Lisa. And that's why, for a minute I was almost ever even see the light of day again. But, ultimately, no, I just don't think I think the better things are for Susan, the better things are for Mel, right? So if she's out here not only being harassed, which I discovered she literally was being harassed, I was out here repeating things that weren't true. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to explain why it makes me sick that I was a part of making someone else's life more difficult, especially over something that turns out to not be true. There's still things that need to be changed and worked on, but that stuff simply wasn't real. The figment of their, as they're many figments, okay, here about all of us, about all the people, again, like, focus of this harassment at the moment, okay, but other people have been, and the things that they accusations, just weird, vile things that they say. I mean, I'm not. Sweet Love is taking part in the weird in this vile, vicious harassment that's taking place. Okay, I have no way of knowing, but what I am saying is that a lot of the is that they seem to, okay, they come up with things like, oh, I'm scamming people, I'm out here, I'm lying, I'm making things, I'm pretending I was paralyzed, but I wasn't really. Such and such is lying about their family member dying. This person is doing that. This person, had relations with a dead body. That's literally one of the accusations that are out there. Okay. Necrophilia accusations. I'm talking about just stuff that, I'm just saying, it gets real creative. So to think that it would have been hard for them or difficult, because for me, I can't imagine just making something like that up, just making it up, which is why I couldn't imagine that it wasn't true. Because I was like, why would they make this up? But they make up lots of things. I heard about that, Dami. I did. I didn't actually see it for myself. I think I actually did see a couple screens. How is that helping? And what's really gross is that I think we all know who that is. I don't think that it's random people. Because I've seen this vile stuff. I've seen the vile stuff that they send to me. This is where their minds are. If you're talking about the same ones I saw. Oh my God, Jesus. Holy moly. That's even worse than the one I was thinking of. But yeah, that's where their minds are. And I'm telling you, just message me if you guys want to see some of these. Message me if you want me to send you some of these. And I will show you. I will show you the absolute corn that they are writing about me. Okay? But some of it is grape corn. Okay? And this is all they think about. They can't even send a harassing message without talking about, sexual acts that either are being performed to me or that I am performing, okay? I mean, it's just gross, is where their minds are. And to me, sometimes, I'm just going to be honest, it's some of the things that are written, they feel to me like they're being written by somebody who's like trying to describe Smex, but maybe they have only ever seen corn and they're basing their descriptions of Smex on the corn they've seen. It's weird. It's like what I'm trying to say is that some of it sounds like it's coming from a young mind or somebody who I just don't know. I just don't know. Some of it hits me that way. So take that as you will. I find it to be very odd. I think it's at least 3 different people. I've seen at least 3. I have reasons. I have reasons. I'm not going to let them know what they're doing, but I have reasons to believe it's at least 3 different people, and that would make sense that it would have to be at least 3 because the harassment is so nonstop and it's happening to so many different people that literally one person could not be doing all of this on their own. So she has to have help. And this was going on all the way back to the Susan thing. So are we really going to be, like we were saying earlier, that we don't believe that? I'm just saying, are we really going to be believing that this is the first time she started harassing somebody as when she started harassing Susan? I don't believe that. I think this has been going on. I think she's been doing this. I think if I were to reach out, I think if I were to do what she did and reach out to the creators that she had a page on, I have a feeling that person, and not Grammy Shammy, a different person, I have a feeling that person would tell me they were harassed in this manner. I really have a bet that would be the case. Maybe we'll find out. Because I would like to know. She definitely had practice. She for sure did. Like, this was not the way that this is a well-oiled machine, okay? And it was a coordinated smear attack against me, right? And I really, really, truly, I don't know what else to say other than I came here with the purest of intentions. I didn't come here trying to do anything other than raise awareness about a situation that was very upsetting to me. Very upset. In a situation that I was losing sleep over every night of my life. And, I am not the system, and I could not force the system to act. So I did what I could do, which was make videos on the situation to try to bring awareness to it. And that was it. So the weird things that are being said about me and the accusations that are being made and they're unfounded. They're unfounded. There's too many people who know exactly who I am and who know that I would not make up things like being paralyzed. No, Nini, we do care very much. That's been a big part of the conversation tonight. And Susan knows we care. Thank you, Domi. I hope that I do hope that. I do, because it does bug me. I try, people are like, just don't even care about what they say. You guys, I wish that I could say that I fully don't care. And it's not because, I don't know, it bugs me on the level that again, I never even wanted or meant to go live. And when I did, I don't know. I was just so real with you guys. I don't know. That's all I could be. It was just real. And it's just kind of strange to me. At this point, I don't know that. I'm not saying there's no more petition. We still have the petition. I believed when I was creating the petition that I was going to hand it over to whichever department currently had an open case on Susan. I was led to believe that APS concluded their investigation and that they had passed it along to another department. And I was going to give that petition to that department when I contacted them. This was before this all blew up, right? Like literally the day this all blew up, we were on live, trying to get signatures on this petition. And so I had every intention of handing it over to law enforcement. But I have since discovered that I don't believe there is any open investigation any longer. Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you, Dami. I appreciate it. I mean, before we decided to go live and speak on it again. I really, really wanted to make sure that, moving forward, in the right manner. I'm not the kind of person who wants to hurt somebody else, okay? If I even think that I accidentally kill a butterfly, you're going to hear me break down into tears. I'm going to break down. If I think I kill a bug, I'm going to cry, especially a spider. Please don't let me ever accidentally kill a spider because then I'm really going to lose it. My point is when maybe that stain was created about me. that I wouldn't hurt a fly. I'm not out here trying to hurt anybody. I'm just not. What I thought I was doing was helping. And upon reevaluation, I realized that, my actions were not helpful in the way I thought they were. I thought I was putting pressure on the system to do the right thing, right? But a lot of the things I was talking about were not even accurate. And I mean, with Mel, just to go back to her, I mean, what we're really hoping for is that we're going to see continued improvement, right? What do we do from here, right? Like the system, it does not seem the system sees a problem, right? The system seems to not see a problem. So we all do. We look at it and we're scared for Melanie and everything because of what we saw happen before our own eyes. And, and now even Susan is admitting there's a problem. So I feel like that this really was the best case scenario. If it was going to work out in any way, this was the best way for it to work. If the system's not going to act, what we're left with is Susan's willingness to work with us and to change and grow as she intends to and says she intends to do. And isn't that what we're all trying to do? I think back on, am I perfect? No, not in any way, shape, or form. I have, fucked up so many times in my life, right? I'm not a perfect person, and it would be really very devastating to me if no one had ever given me a chance again, right? If you ask me, am I the same person as I was 10 years ago? No, I'm not. Was I the same person 10 years ago as I was 10 years before that? No, because all the time I feel like I'm just trying to do better. I'm always just trying to do it better. That's it. All I'm trying to do is improve. And if I would be a hypocrite to not give other people room to also improve. And I don't want to do that. Trisha, do you mean Susan? Her account is still You Can't Bring Me Down. She did have a lot of people blocked, but if you are, if you're wanting to just be around, I can ask her to unblock you if you might be blocked. Let's see. Yeah, Grandma, exactly. And I mean, that's what it is about. A lot about what it's about for me is that I refuse. I'm not going to sit here and lie about something, or I'm not going to sit here and stick to a story just because it was a story I once said was true, that I believed was true. I'm definitely not gonna. I'm not the type of person who's not gonna say that I was wrong. I'm gonna say I was wrong if I was wrong. I I have to, like there was no way for me to move forward with you guys, honestly. Okay, I will, sweet cheeks. I'll ask her, because she did unblock. She was in here for a minute and she unblocked a bunch of people tonight. Let's see. I think so too. Domi and Vanessa, I really do. If you ever commented on my page, that could be why. When we were in the thick of it all, a lot of people were blocked. Yeah, okay, for sure. Yes, I will, Steffi. I'm screenshotting right now so I can remember everyone. But yeah, I mean, I do think like we could, I don't know, guys. I think our support versus our condemnation is going to do a lot more to help this situation. I do not, I like the more I've thought about it, and I've obviously been thinking about it a lot. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe it did have to unfold this way or whatever. Maybe it needed to unfold this way, where there had to be all this attention on her suddenly or something. I don't know. Like, we all need wake-up calls sometimes, right? Yes, I will, Trisha. Let me follow you back. Yeah, we all need wake-up calls sometimes. We all need to discover that. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe this was just a wake-up call for her, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but that's just kind of how I feel. I mean, we know that she's okay, Michelle. Like, we know that she's okay, and I will tell you guys again, I say this every time because I am not trying to tell you guys what to think as far as Susan is concerned. I know a lot of people, some people still don't trust her or whatever. I can't, all I could do is tell you what she has told me and shown me. But, I know that a lot of changes were made in the house after two things happened. Tommy went to her with screen recordings from my IG page where I had zoomed in on the touching that was occurring. Okay. I had zoomed in on some of the worst parts that were upsetting me the most. And so, and then people were saying, oh, you're lying because you blocked it out on your video. Well, I blocked it out on my video here because I kept getting violations. So I went over to Instagram and, showed the whole thing and zoomed in and everything else. Tommy screen recorded those zoomed in things. He took it back to her and he was like, what the fuck? And she basically, she said that she had never really believed that it had happened that night. These are her words again. Like, again, you guys will have to decide if you believe her or not. But she said that she had never really believed it had happened that night, that she thought the trolls were just effing with her. And that, it wasn't until she really saw that zoomed in version that she was like, okay, yeah, there is a problem. And then Tommy presented her with the audio of him, talking to Nick and Nick admitting to what he did. And so it's between those two things that made her say, there are changes I need to make. And so she did make changes in the household. For a couple months there, Nick had zero privileges, and he was basically confined to his room for a couple months after she realized this really had happened. And, again, like Nikki and I talked to her earlier, and one of the things we emphasized is that we just think that there needs to be more. Like Nick needs to go to some kind of rehabilitation, some counseling or something to truly understand why what he did is as wrong as it is. And she agreed to that. She agreed that she would go to she said on her very own, she would go to counseling so that she could learn how to do better, so that she could learn how to talk to him about it. And so is she safe? I think we just, right now, I think what we have to hope for is that things are getting better. And again, I don't think there's any open case. So, the argument or whatever you want to call it that I'm making to those who have hesitancy is that what else do we really have? How else can we really move forward from this? We can either continue to be at war with Susan, or we can try to work with Susan, if you want to call it that. Talk to Susan. Like you just said, befriend her in a way, try to help, just try to help. I mean, I would always rather help. And I would always also, I always hated the idea that Mel might have to go somewhere else. I always hated that idea. Like, but I thought it was the only way. I thought it was the only way that she would stay safe. Do I want to be out here ripping families apart? No, wasn't my intention. But it just seemed to me that things had gotten so out of control. I thought there was this touching going on. I was imagining Susan doing this thing in front of Melanie. I was just imagining a whole nightmare scenario. And I'm gonna screenshot that. I'll screenshot what you just said. Because who said it about maybe wonder if the couch could be moved in if she doesn't want to sleep in a bed. I wonder if the couch could be moved in, closer to Susan or next to Susan. I don't know. But, yeah, a lot of people do want them ripped apart. And I really did think that the only way to keep her safe was to either get Nick out of there or to get Mel out of there. I didn't see what other option there was. And so if we can somehow be influential in helping Susan make that house a safe zone for Melanie too, I hope that we can do that. Because I really don't. I mean, for anyone who's the pushback I was getting, what do those people want? What do you want me to do? Like the system, if they are not going to act based on what was sent to them in the the audio, pardon me, that Tommy recorded where Nick admits to what he did, if they don't think that's enough to separate them, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And so and me just continuing to go online and go on live and just, complain about what's happening, that's not getting us anywhere. If Melanie can stay home, that really would be. I don't want that to happen. Like, I think people think that that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Melanie taken away. Like, no, like, guys, that's not what I wanted to see. Nobody wants that. I didn't want any of this. I just wanted Melanie to not be in danger. I agree with that. The bedtime sleeping time is the most vulnerable time for her. I do agree with that. And thank you, Steffi. I'm glad that it really does seem that like more people than not agree. More people than not agree that really only good things can come from this. And that honestly, was anything good ever going to come from the way things were before? I don't think so. I don't really want to be out here, alienating Susan. And she has been very cooperative with us and communicative and everything.
Plus, you can look at it as in how many times has Child Protective Services or whatever been called, and it's still at the same spot we're at now. So this is another way to look at it, is possibly this way may work. They've been called before and nothing has been done. Right. So maybe this is a way to do it.
I mean, honestly. And like everybody's noticed how the difference in her happiness level and everything. I think I really think some of that might have to do with her name being cleared on the harassment, her name being cleared on the touching. And the fact that she does that instead of a bunch of people coming at her, because I know that people have reached out to her and said, I'm sorry, I did believe that thing was true. I also believed you were doing the harassment and I'm sorry. And I mean, these are people with good hearts. The people over here who were caring about Mel and what happens to Mel, the people over here had good hearts and they still have good hearts. And so many of them, so many of you guys have reached out to her to make her know, to let her know that, we're not out here just trying to come at her anymore. That if we can help, we want to help. We just want we want it to get better. We want it to get better for Melanie.
I mean, we could help with resources, or if she needs help with looking things up, we can help with that, because it's exhausting doing, by herself. Maybe put them in like a day program. I know I used to work with a day program, and it would be amazing for her and for the kids to be able to get out and do stuff. We took them out to the community. They went bowling. We did. You can teach them how to, spend money, because eventually, unfortunately, their mom's not going to be there. They're going to learn that life skill of being able to somewhat take care of themselves. Yeah, in a home, but it would be helpful for them, and it would get them out, let them do things. And Susan can get a little bit of her own space. I mean, she's got no time probably at all. So
I think it would be really great for her to have help like that. And I do believe, like I said this, I don't know if you were here yet when I said this, but that I do, yeah, I think you were, but that I do believe now that I have reason now to believe that she actually was struggling to get certain resources, to get help with certain things in Florida, and so I do believe she was struggling with it, and I have to hope that, maybe with our help, she is able to find certain things.
I mean, I can help try to find the day programs and stuff for them if they need it, because I used to work with one, but let us know what she needs and we can possibly help. Instead of being enemies, we can help her.
Exactly. Tommy, I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I just shouldn't laugh. She said, I've experienced smurderous anger over this. Now I just want to help anyway I can. Like, that's where I'm at too. Like, for real, nothing could have made me go live, you guys. I cannot think of anything that could have caused me to get up here and talk in front of people. Like, this was like something that I would dream about, have nightmares about. People like dream about waking up and they're at school but they're naked or something. Like, this is my nightmares, waking up and I'm suddenly talking on live in front of people. So nothing could have gotten me up here other than that I was just so angry too, murderously angry. I really was. Nothing has made me this mad in so long. I was heated up. I was heated up. And now I really do. I just want to help as well. I really, really do. And I do too. I mentioned that as well about the communication device. I truly want her to give that another try. I know, and also I'm wondering, when she gets better resources, if we can't, really push, getting certain OT to focus on helping her use her hands again and stuff. I do remember Punky. Oh my gosh.
She can get that communication device for free. There is grants everywhere. The people that I work with, they had them. I mean, there's different programs so that she could just push a button. Right. It would be amazing for Mel, as long as Nick would allow her to use it and not want to use it too, obviously. But Nick could get one as well. I mean, because we just have a different program on it is all.
I mean, there'd be so many things that could be, very enriching for his mind too, right? And I just always think about, like, with Melanie, I just always think about how I truly believe that the only reason I learned how to walk again is because I basically, like, created new neural pathways for myself, right? Because I'm telling you, when I first couldn't walk, it wasn't just because my legs wouldn't work or because my muscle had been stripped from my body entirely, right? Like, my strength. It was because I couldn't even figure it out. I was, I couldn't figure out what to move to make it work. Like, I don't know. It was the weirdest, most surreal feeling. When you go your whole life walking and using your body just fine, and then to not even know, like, once you start getting a little strength back, to what even do I do? Like, what part of my brain tells this to do that? And, and I believe that, that I created new neural pathways and that I kind of relearned how to walk in a different way than I learned how to walk the first time, if that makes sense. Like, it was a different learning experience. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but
you're an adult, and us adults, we do so well with change. At least I don't do well at all. I will boycott everything. I will rebel it out the whole way. Right. I will do the opposite of what they're wanting me to do. So that's even harder. Where at a big kid, you don't really do that. It's all fun games.
No, yeah. And everything's so easy. It's so easy to learn things when you're younger, whatever.
Yeah, and they give you candy. You can, like, Mom wants you to walk your first couple steps. Here's a piece of candy. Well, you don't get that shit when you're an adult.
Right.
Candy or any kind of an incentive.
You're currently, Dami, you're currently relearning how to walk right now after an accident. It is, it's so strange. It's almost something that I can't even describe. That it is just really strange that, like, you know how people say, oh, you never forget how to ride a bike. I beg to differ. I beg to differ because I forgot how to walk. I forgot how to walk. I didn't know what I was doing anymore. I was like, I don't know how to move this part of my body any longer. And
Right.
that's why I just think with Melanie, like if people like us can have to learn how to walk again and stuff, and we can do it. And you know, even if it means you have to learn how to move your body in different ways than you did, I believe Melanie. I believe Melanie could thrive with the right physical and occupational therapist. I mean, I fell out of a Tommy. You fell out of a moving bus. Oh my God, jeez, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I fully have forgotten how to walk, and it's the oddest thing. For real, it is just so weird that you don't, it's too hard to explain. It's like I don't even have words for it. That one moment you know what you're doing, you know how to walk, you don't even have to think about it, right? It's like breathing. Walking is like breathing. It's just so second nature to us. And I don't even know how to explain it. It's like when you suddenly can't, and you're trying to think about how you would even move a certain part of your body. It's just hard. It's just like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. When you're fully frozen down there, it's hard to figure things out. Well, I'm so glad you're learning again. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It's not easy, and it's very scary. I'm a thirsty Billy, and it's depressing too. Like, right? It's depressing, and this is what I mean about that. That if we're going to move forward with the page, and I don't want to just walk away from you guys. You know, not only do I think we should, um, you know, help support Susan in different ways. Like, sorry about that. Like Sassy was just saying, but I think we should support each other. Like, I would love to hear your story. I would love to hear you talk about that, and I would love to be along with you on your journey, as you do completely learn how to walk again, and as you make those first steps. And because it's so hard and it's so depressing, but it's honestly so rewarding as you get there. Like, I will never really forget the first time that I walked across that a room for the first time. I was wearing these big old clunky leg braces, but it was the first time I had done it in so long. Not a wheelchair, you know, not scoot myself across a board just to get from one spot to another. I was literally walking, and with the help of those AFOs, and it was, and it's great. It's like I don't know. It's like it really sucks, but then the moment where you're able to do that thing again, or you climb up this really large hill and you realize that you made it to the top. I mean, I don't know. It's a good feeling to know that you got there, that you're able to do it. Um,
We'll
he
be praying
says
for you.
he says I had to relearn how to walk after a TBI. I'm still not fully balanced and aligned. Yeah, you know what's interesting is, and I'm so sorry. How many of us are having to relearn how to walk? This is crazy. Um, I I went to rehab a lot of the people because the place I went was, you know, for people with neurological disorders, and so there were a lot of people in that in the place I went that had TBIs, and man, you guys struggle hard. The TBIs are no joke. I mean, my gosh, I felt so bad for some of the people. I mean, who had to get through that. I mean, this one woman got a TBI because she was having to get something out of her trunk or whatever, and like the wind picked up just all of a sudden in that moment, and as she had her head down in her trunk, and just like the wind slammed their trunk door on her head, things like this, and it really, it messed up her whole life. I'm so glad that we've given you support. I mean hope, not support. Thank you for your support, and I'm so glad that we've given you hope, because I You will. You will totally. You are going to walk again. You are going to walk again.
Very much so.
I could do it. You
Working for you.
for real. I really felt like even though I had the determination, right? I like even from minute one, I was like, no, you're not going to tell me. Like, just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you get to tell me if I ever walk again or not. Or like, I was very determined that I wasn't going to be told I wasn't going to walk again. But were there times when I was like, God, I don't know. When I was feeling helpless, heck yeah. When I was feeling helpless and hopeless, yes. When I was feeling like, will I ever get out of these leg braces? Will I ever have the muscle to do this on my own? I mean, it's scary. And that's why I so think that this conversation has made me believe that this is the right thing. We're going to move forward is supporting each other because you deserve that. And it's hard to find, Guillain-Barré is not that common of a disorder. So I had never met anyone else who had GBS. I had never met anyone who recovered from it or anything like that. And it was kind of scary just going, and it was very scary, horrifying. Like I'm going to have nightmares about that tonight. Oh, falling out of a moving bus. Notice that that's what was really happening though, right? Like, yes, we were talking about Mel and Susan and all the rest, but what was really happening behind the scenes and what was just kind of growing organically was, a community of people who did want to support each other because there was so much support, like even just, behind stuff that you guys that we didn't talk about or whatever, just so much supporting of one another behind the scenes. There really, really has been nonstop since this happened. I just feel like I found the most supportive people in the world and that I'm just lucky enough to know them all.
And I got your back, girl, for everything. But I'm gonna let you guys go. My phone's about to die, and I know we're supposed to say goodbye 3 hours ago, but
I think somebody else said goodbye too in the comments. Hold on. Oh, Steffi, she's got to go to sleep. Good night. But I'll get back on now that we just had to work some stuff out. We'll be back on at some point. So, okay, Sassy, good night.
you guys have a good night.
You too. And I'll see you if you're around. And I will definitely check. If I don't check your message right after this live, I'm gonna be up in like 6 hours anyway. Okay. So and I really am gonna spend the next couple days responding to people, catching up on phone calls and all of the stuff. And I hope
Overwhelm yourself.
All right. Well, you have a great night, Sassy.
Bye.
Bye. I think so too. That definitely separates us. Is that we wanted something good to happen. We didn't want to see bad things happen. As I read a comment that I'm just out here trying to yank somebody from their home. No. And the person who wrote that, I guarantee you, Susan herself knows that that's not what I'm trying to do. And Susan herself knows which side of this or which person in this had genuine intentions and who did not, and who was just here to play games and troll and get views and all the rest. Like every accusation that's been made about me that, oh, I did this for the views. How would I have ever known these videos were going to go viral? My page was essentially ignored for like 2 years. Good night, Pete. And I hope you come back because I would love to hear more about your TBI. For real, I'd like to hear everybody's story of recovery. I mean, I think you all are great. I really do. And you will get there, Dami. You will. Tell me what you want me to call you. I don't know if you want me to call you Dami or Vanessa. But you will. I swear. Did you tell me how long ago it had happened? I hope that you've, I don't know. It sounds like you've already gotten somewhere in your recovery. And that's awesome. And it really was like a one step at a time thing for me. It was such a long process for me. Like some people really do recover from GBS in a year or two. Some people can bounce back in 6 months. I wasn't exactly like, I was already 37 years old when this happened to me. So, a lot of people who recover right away, they are a lot younger when it happens to them. So I was 37 and, my body, it was quite the hit for my body. So it was years of recovery, but it's like, I remember certain things. Like the first time I felt, this is a big deal. It just gave me chills thinking about it. Feeling my feet, like feeling the tile underneath my feet, on the bottom of my feet for the first time. When I felt it, it was only in one of my feet that I felt it. But all of a sudden, I felt the sensation of feeling the cold tile underneath my foot for the first time. Because like my feet, well, it's very hard to explain this too, that when Guillain-Barré happens, it basically strips your myelin sheath entirely. So, your nerves are no longer covered or protected. So I could both feel everything and nothing all at once. So I could feel all of the nerve stuff that was happening, but could I feel any, like if you touched me, if you were to rub your finger down the bottom of my foot, no, I wasn't going to feel that. I think it took me, I don't know, 2 or 3 years before I felt sensation back in my feet again. Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, so that happened a year ago. Exactly a year. Well, there you go. And I think about a year in is when I really started kind of having more hope again, right? Like once I got to about a year of this stuff, where I could see that I was at least going to get somewhere. Like it was at least going to be better than it had been. It did. It really did feel great. It was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was such a weird feeling too. It was like when you don't really feel anything and then all of a sudden you feel it. It was very interesting. And then, the feeling gradually came back altogether. But, nothing's perfect. It's like I still, the myelin sheath, so it strips in one direction and it heals the other way. So like it strips from the bottom up. So like imagine from my feet up to my legs, the myelin sheath strips itself and then it heals downwards. So it heals from like the thighs down and in my arms, also from the top of my arms down. So I had all this healing happening, and I will just tell you guys, the healing stopped at about my ankles and my wrists. So I really do walk around still with my feet and my hands exposed. Just kind of exposed to the world, that they just did not repair themselves. The myelin sheath did not repair itself past those points. So there's still certain parts of my life that are a nightmare. Don't get me wrong. It's like I still live with the residual effects. I do have a lot of pain, but I don't know if they have you on I'm going to say this too. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just telling you what happened to me. I'm just telling you my personal experience with pain is that they had me on a ton of painkillers because yes, the pain was so, I didn't think I'd ever, now listen, I've never given birth. Okay. So I kind of hear that's one of the worst pains you could have. But this was the worst. I just can't even explain it to you. I can't even explain to you what it's like to be not only paralyzed, you can't move anything from your neck down, but also the myelin sheath stripped so you can feel everything. So I mean, if you just poke me in my arm, I was going to scream out in pain. This is how much the myelin sheath truly protects us from, just even touch, general, regular touch. It protects us. But the pain, it basically, what I was going to say about the painkillers is that oh my God, nerve pain is so bad. Nerve pain is so bad. And it can control your whole life. And so they had me on a ton of crap, right? They had put me on medication for the nerve pain, for the regular pain, for all of it. And I was also, then of course, I don't know how you go through an experience like that and not become depressed. So they had me on an antidepressant. So we're talking here that I was on painkillers for my nerves specifically, antidepressants. Then of course, this whole thing had caused my blood pressure control. My thyroid stopped working. So I'm just trying to think of all the different medicines I was on. And then one of the reasons I walked away, honestly, last year from the Susan thing around April of last year, is because I wanted to get myself off of everything, because I decided that all of the medications that were being piled, that my body was just was drowning underneath, that this might be making things worse instead of better. So I had someone suggest to me, stop adding, start subtracting. I'm so sorry, November Moon. That's terrible. Is it a well, you don't have to tell me, but is it just something that did you have a traumatic event? Were you born with it? Since you said no, obviously not born with it. You said it in your entire body, not your entire life. Sorry, I misread it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And do they have you on something? Because I was on Lyrica, or I am still on a small amount of Lyrica. I don't know how to get all the way off of it. I don't know if I can ever get all the way off of it. But I tried. This is what I started doing in April of last year. I was not doing well, okay? I had gotten to a certain point and I couldn't get any further. I plateaued in my progression. And so around April or the beginning of last year, I knew I wanted to do better. I wanted to be able to move around more. I had just gotten done having surgery on both of my feet because my toes and my ankles atrophied when I was paralyzed. So my toes were like in this curled down position where it was like, what do they call it? What do they call that when your toe is, I don't know, when your toe is like curled down really hard? I can't think, but it was like that with all my toes. It was like I had that in all my toes. And so I had to have surgery on both feet, one after the other. And so I had it on like the left foot first, then on the right foot to straighten those toes back out. And it was after both those surgeries, that then I had hopes that I could start walking a little better, because what was really holding me back is I was tripping over my own feet, because I was literally tripping over my own toes when I was trying to walk. They were curled down so hard. Oh gosh. Fibromyalgia, bone spurs, arthritis in your back. Oh my gosh. Neck and vertebrae are slipping plus more. Girl, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What a nightmare. And Lyrica is terrible withdrawal, yes. Oh my god, yes. And I was on a very high amount. I'm on a sixth of what I was on before. So now I only take 100 milligrams in the morning. They had me on 600 milligrams, you guys. It was high. It was a high dose. And then I was on the painkillers, and I was on, again, the antidepressants. And at one point in time, I was on anxiety medication because I had so much anxiety. And, and I don't know, in the beginning of last year, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So after I got my toes fixed, I really just decided to see if I could start, walking a little better again. And I started basically doing rehab. I lost my rehab place. They had to close down. I broke my leg literally a month after my rehab place closed down. And then I had to recover from that broken leg for a full year because it was so bad. And my bones were, and I quote, soft. This is what the surgeon said, soft, from being in the leg braces. So it just broke clean through. So it's just, I have a rod in my leg. I had screws all over the place in my ankles. And, and it took a lot to heal from that. And so after that, then I had the toes fixed. So I got the leg fixed. I got the toes fixed. And then I really, sorry, that's my dog snoring into the phone. I really was just determined. I was like, now I think I'm going to be able to get further. And so I really did. I started trying to rehab myself, basically. I started getting myself off the medication. I went to go see a pain doctor specifically and asked him, because I was not getting my pain meds through him. My primary care was pretty much helping with everything. He retired, and I decided, you know what, this is a perfect opportunity. I'm going to get off all this crap. And so I went to a pain doctor and just said, can you help me at least get very far down on this, like way, way far down. So he did. He helped me get down off those meds. And at the same time, I used, the medication that I was taking to help me get off the pain meds, to get off of the Lyrica, and to get off of the antidepressant. And I guess my point that I'm trying to make here is that Lyrica didn't really help me. Lyrica doesn't really help me much either. I mean, I don't think it does. I don't know. It's like gabapentin. I don't know. Gabapentin was also making me feel like really irritated, and it was making me gain a lot of weight, and it was just giving me anxiety. I always felt like the gabapentin gave me a lot of anxiety. They're testing me now to see if they can do surgery, but I can't even get out and down the stairs. Ugh, my God, to the doctor. I'm sorry. Yeah, I agree. Women are resilient. We are. I do believe gabapentin is gross. Like I would never take it again. I don't even want to be on the amount of Lyrica I'm on. Honest. But I do, when I don't take that amount, even that amount in the mornings, I do feel like the burning is just so severe in my feet function. I just can't even function. But, it really, okay. So here's my point. I keep getting myself distracted, but I felt, okay. So the amount of pain I was in when I was on 600 milligrams of Lyrica, a very high amount of painkiller, and the antidepressant, everything else, I still wasn't doing well. I was still struggling. I was still in pain. I was still miserable. I was tired all the time. I was not getting anywhere with my walking. And so when I pulled myself off, all I can say about, I don't know if they have you on a bunch of stuff or not for pain, but when I pulled myself off that high amount of painkiller, I honestly felt better. Like, I think I have less pain now. I think I have less pain now on the lower amount of meds than I had on the higher amount of meds, because my body functions better. Now that I got off all that crap, I don't have to take the blood pressure medicine anymore. I don't have to take the Lyrica the thyroid meds anymore. And I lost like 60 pounds. And that is just because my body just started working again. I got off all that stuff. I just lost the weight. I wasn't even like, my goal was not to lose weight. I wanted to, because it was very hard to move my body around with any extra weight on it. But I wanted to, but I wasn't my main goal, that's for sure. And I wasn't even trying. I just got off all that stuff, and the weight just started coming off with it, which made it even easier for me to then, this is how I rehabbed myself. This is how I got to where I'm at. I'm not saying I'm healed. I'm still not driving a car. I'm not, I still lose my balance. I still have incredible pain in my feet and my hands. And that I don't think is ever going to go away. But I got myself to where I'm at now by getting myself off all those meds and working with myself, working with myself, with like, the what do you call the bands, like the resistance bands and stuff like that. Thank you so much for the rose. And I really did work hard on my own self to get there. All I'm saying is that I think I did better without the medications and without all the extra stuff. I was getting infusions every 2 weeks, you guys, every 2 weeks for 2 or 3 years. Every 2 weeks I was getting infused. I just stopped getting the infusions. I just stopped with all of it, and I got better. So I'm just saying that in a way, I really feel like it was all the over medication and everything else that was stopping me from getting anywhere. And I saw that about the unable to form new memories with the gabapentin. Yes to that. I'm so sorry. Has the weight gain, do you think, been related to the medications? Because it is so hard to get off these medications, and I'm not telling anyone what to do. I'm certainly not recommending that anyone take my advice and do anything, without talking to that, getting myself off all that heavy stuff. First of all, it allowed me to be awake again. I mean, I was so tired. The infusions are painful, and I felt so, they're supposed to be making me feel better, and that was no fun. That was no fun. Getting up every day. I knew that the next couple days of my life too were just gonna I was going to feel kind of gross. And so it's kind of like every 2 weeks I was losing, because I would have them on Fridays and I would just be recovering through the whole weekend. Interesting, Beth Ann. I don't know. I'll have to ask my neurologist about that. Thank you. You're so sweet. For the gift. I don't know. That's so interesting. I'm going to screenshot this. For your paraprofessionals neuropathy. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to look into that. I'm for sure looking into that. Thank you for that. Because I do think, it's like when, I don't know, every little thing helped a little bit, right? Like everything got me a little closer. The surgery on my feet, that really helped me start being able to walk around successfully without falling. And I just feel like, I don't know, that having less nerve pain, I just feel like that would be so amazing for me. That would be so amazing. I mean, in anything I do, if I can just be washing dishes, and if I knock my thumb into the side, or my fingernail or whatever into the side of the sink, it's just going to be an excruciating event for me for the next 5-10 minutes. So I just don't have anything protecting my nerves in my hands. Initially a game when my second parent died, but it made it worse. Oh, okay. Yeah. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and it's hard, and it doesn't make anything easier to all of a sudden have when you're struggling, and thank you, Punky, and then all of a sudden now you've got all this extra weight to deal with. It makes it so much harder. And if you're trying to learn how to walk again, if you're dealing with neuropathy, if you're, I don't know, none of these things are made easier by weight gain. That's for sure. And then not to even mention the fact that it makes you feel bad about yourself. Nobody likes to suddenly have their own appearance change. And it's not about like, it's just that your appearance changes suddenly. And they're like, oh, I don't feel like who I used to be, or whatever. So it's like you're all of a sudden you feel like, oh, okay, now I can't walk, and I've just suddenly gained 60 pounds, and I already am having trouble walking, moving, and now I've got this. It's just a lot. It's a lot. You just don't even feel like yourself anymore during this time, and I for myself truly, like, although it did, I can't lie and say that I was just like in love with my reflection in the mirror, but it was much less about what I was seeing in the mirror, and much more about the fact that it was too hard to move around. It was too hard to do anything. Yeah, no, I wasn't recognizing myself either. My face changes so much when I gain weight. Like I honestly, I wouldn't even have minded like the body weight. My face changes, and I don't know who that person is. Like, I'm like, who is this person in the mirror? I don't know me anymore. And I had I'm not saying there's times I didn't gain weight over my life, at different times, like some weight, but never like this, never like what happened with these medications. And it was just too much. It was too much for my body. And like my body has been like pretty much one size my whole life, is what I'm saying. It's been pretty consistently like the same size. And so it was traumatic for me to suddenly be completely different, to just feel and look different. Yes, mine does too. I gain weight, and it's just instantly, it goes to the face. It goes to the face. Well, listen, I feel you, and I hated it so much, and I struggled, and you know what else? That's another thing about depression medication, especially the ones that notoriously make you gain weight. It's very hard to tell somebody that the answer to being depressed is to get on a medication that's going to make you gain. I mean, I'm just saying that, to me, that's just going to add to the depression. it's just going to add to the depression, to gain even more weight. I'm not saying that the depression meds are not sometimes necessary. I probably needed them when I took them. I probably really did at that time. I needed help. But I think that they also had a lot to do with my weight gain. I think it was that. I think it was the gabapentin, and the rest of it. And I just didn't. And yeah, you gain weight, you get even more depressed, You get depressed, you eat. And then you get depressed because you ate. It is a vicious circle. Like, it really is. And I've never gained that much weight in my life. And it was very, very hard for me to adjust to. I had a very difficult time adjusting to it. And I felt much better when I lost it. And so I just want you to have hope that you will lose it. I want you to know that you will lose it. Like, honestly, I don't know what medications you're on and what you can maybe get, what maybe you can reduce or not reduce. I don't know. I don't know your specifics, but I'm telling you that I think it was getting off my medications or getting down on them, because I'm not all the way off, but getting down on them, that I think helped my body work better. I really, really do. I think my body was not functioning. It was not doing what it needed to do. It's like I all of a sudden was having problems with my thyroid and everything. Like, why? Why was that? So, it's like the medication that they give you causes new problems. And then the new problems require a new medication. That is my experience was anyway. It's like, well, now something I'm taking is making it to where my thyroid isn't working, and and this is causing my blood pressure to be high, and who knows what. I know that the blood pressure medications can cause their own issues. Oh my God. See, that's a bummer. Like, I don't want to be giving out any medical advice or anything, but if you want to message me, I will tell you something that I learned. Again, I don't want to be getting up here and saying something and then having someone say, "Oh, it's irresponsible," because I'm not trying to be irresponsible. But there is something that I did that I think helped my thyroid, and I would share it with you. If you want to message me. I think there are things we can do to kind of help ourselves, to help ourselves move past this. And, I don't know. And I followed you back too. I fully believe the medication needs to be as low. Yes, I think so too. Like, truly, truly, truly. And honestly, when I say that I have less pain now, I mean this. I'm on a fraction. Again, I'm on a sixth of what I was taking for both of those medications, for the pain medication and the Lyrica. I got down to a sixth of what I was originally taking. And so, that little bit that I allow myself of the painkiller every day, that basically is enough to get me going in the morning, a little bit to get me out of bed in the morning, and a little bit to help me get to sleep at night, basically. And it actually works. Like, it actually does its job, because I'm not on this crazy high amount that my body is just used to, and it's just not doing anything anymore. So I think that coming down as drastically as I did, I think it was necessary to even get the medications to continue working again. Yeah, Dami, for real, guys. Like, I wouldn't mind saying it maybe over on a different platform or something. And it's not even that big of a deal. When I say it, you're gonna be like, "This is what you didn't want to say," but it's just because I don't want anyone thinking that I'm out here. Whatever. I don't want to be telling someone something that's. I don't want to be telling someone to get off I'm not telling you to get off your thyroid meds. I'm just saying that I think there are other things we can do, and there are things that I did that I believe helped my thyroid start functioning again. And I think that, part of it was also just getting off all the meds, but I do believe that the steps I took, because I had somebody kind of helping me, working with me, giving me advice. So, and I took a lot of that advice, and a lot of it was very, very helpful. I would not be where I am right now. I would never have gotten to the point where I felt okay enough to even come back to this, if I hadn't had somebody helping me and trying to help me get my health back without all of the kind of what I now feel are like, I don't know, unnecessary medications and stuff. They really are debilitating in their own right. It's like you really can't. You take one step forward, two steps back, or whatever. It's like, oh, okay, well, now my pain is gone, and my pain is gone now, but my my liver doesn't work. This is not helpful. And I think it's just really, I think it's really sad for some people, like across the country too, that there is a whole, I mean, regardless of how some people feel about it, there is a whole plant out there that helps people with pain. And for like half the country, it's illegal, which makes no sense to me. It's legal for half the country, but illegal for the other half. And you know, and that's just, I don't know. I think that's a shame. I think that is a crying shame, because I believe there are so many people who could be off of their painkillers entirely if they had access to a plant. And this plant is natural, and this plant does not have the types of absolutely debilitating, side effects. The plant isn't, hurting your liver. The plant isn't doing anything to you, honestly. If you don't even have to, you don't have to ingest it into your lungs. You don't have to do that. You can, take it in other forms. And those forms are very gentle. You can simply eat a gummy. You can, you guys know how it works. I'm just saying, like, it's so much more gentle on your body. And honestly, I just think it's really, as someone who now deals with chronic pain, I think it's really disgusting that they withhold this from people. But they will just, if I wanted to go get my prescription for my ridiculous amount of painkillers all over again, I could. Freaking stop. All right, my dog just had a little, whatever we want to call it, with the evil dog. with the one who hates us more and more as time goes on. The older she gets. She loves us, but she gets mad at us for everything. It's illegal in the UK. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. Legal where you are. Well, it's illegal in Tejas. It helps you half the time. The other half, I focus on my pain. Oh, okay, yeah. So, like, you're just, like, you're hyper-focused on it. Like, it's all you can think about. Yeah. It's completely natural, you guys. Like, I don't know. I can't say enough good things about that. And it's medicine. It's medicine. Medicine. God, it just seems so gross to me. It does. It's like, all right, you guys can have pain relief, but you guys can't. I don't know. Right, Dami? I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I guess I'm not gonna say it. I guess I'm not gonna say anything. I'll just zip my lips. I'll just zip them. I'll just say it's a very helpful medication, and that it helped. That it was extremely beneficial. What I did have at the time access to was extremely beneficial to me while I was getting off of my painkillers. Extremely. I don't think I would have gotten off those painkillers without it. I had, of course, the medication that they gave me, that the pain doctor gave me, but I was still, yes, I still had to use a little bit of that too. There was just, oh, did someone request a second ago? I was walking around and I missed it. If you wanted to come up and you still want to come up and I missed it, I wasn't ignoring your request. I was just kind of walking around the room. But yeah, I think it's really unfortunate that they do this to people, because I think there's a lot of, painkiller addictions that would not exist if people just simply had access, if everybody had access to the plant. Just so many that wouldn't even exist. I don't think I would have had to go through a whole thing to get off these painkillers, and the withdrawal from that shit is not fun. Even when you have help, it's not fun. And that's the other thing about these medicines. Why are they all so hard to get off of? Like, why? It makes a girl wonder. That's all. They're so hard. They're so difficult to get off of. And yet they prescribe them to you so easily. And then as soon as you do get off of them, or at least in my case, your body starts working better. So what the hell? They are so addictive. That's where I'm going with it. And I don't even care if it sounds conspiratorial or whatever you want to say. I believe that's the absolute truth. They're designed to be difficult to get off of. They're designed to be addictive, and they don't want you getting off of it. And honestly, I'm just gonna say that I don't think that it's really beneficial to the healthcare system for us to get better either. Because how am I getting them any money or whatever if I'm not constantly depending on their medications and everything else? Or if I was constantly sick when I'm on all these medications supposedly to help my condition, but it was just making me worse and worse. And that's exactly it. I think they do want us trapped in a cycle. And I was done with that cycle. I was all done with it. I just woke up in 2024. I woke up and decided, you know what? When people say they woke up and chose violence that day, I woke up and chose violence against everything that I'd ever been put on. I was just like, I'm done with this. I can't even function. I couldn't think. My brain was always foggy. Words that I've known my entire life were just leaving my brain. I've never had a problem with words, right? I've always, there's some things it's like we all have things that we're good at. One of the things I have always been good at is writing. Okay, I've been able to write well, but I had a very good vocabulary at one time. It's still not back to where it was because the medications I'm still always just searching for words, even though I'm off most of it, just because I was on such a heavy amounts of stuff for so long. That's exactly right. And I hate to say it because people will say, oh, that's just, like I'm being paranoid by saying that. But I don't think so. I don't think I'm being paranoid by saying that. I think that because why else make these medications so difficult to get off of? Why? I'll put this back this way. I didn't even realize it was still on that format in case that makes it easier to see and stuff. But yeah, no, I really did too. I lost, and I also ended up with crutches, right, in my vocabulary, like and uhs and and stuff like that, because my brain was always searching. So I was always having to insert like a placeholder in the middle while my brain was trying to figure out a word. And that's still not completely back. I mean, it really isn't. There are so many words that I used to just make an appearance in everyday conversations for me that they have disappeared. But I don't know. I can't. Any other outlook other than that shit was intentionally hard to get off of. That it should not have been that way. That what I went through last year stuff. I mean, it took me all year. It took me till the end of the year. I started this. I went to the pain doctor of last year, and I started trying to get off that stuff, and it was on such high amounts of everything that it really did take me till the end I'm at now. I haven't really gotten down any lower since the beginning of this year. So I'm on my very small amount of love to ditch altogether, and then the very small amount of painkillers, which I don't know that I'll ever be able to just completely never take again. They decide to make the plant legal where I am. Only other thing that works, and honestly, the plant works better than the synthetic medications. I can't imagine going back to taking that amount of painkillers again. I would never. I would never. But for real, if you guys want to message me about some of the things I was doing to kind of help my own body through it, I will definitely share. I just don't want to be misinterpreted as giving, medical advice or anything like that. Like, I really just, and maybe if we were on a different platform or whatever, I would just share it. But there are certain things I'm convinced helped my body really, really get to where it is now. I'm telling you, if you guys saw me last April when I started this versus now, first of all, you wouldn't even recognize me. Now I look like myself again, but I didn't a mere year ago. And now, and also I was barely walking, and around April of last year would be after I had pretty much done my 3-month recovery from the second toe surgery, and that's when I started pushing my body around April, after I had done my time in bed and done the healing. And then once I had my straight toes and I couldn't be tripped by them anymore, that's when I really, really started trying even more. And so to think that, like, for anyone who's given up hope, like if you have some kind of condition you're trying to overcome, just please know that in 2017 is when I was paralyzed. And I have been working my way up, right? And then get knocked down here and there. But I continue to work my way up, and I did most of my improving in 2024. So just don't ever give up hope, is all I'm saying. Is that it was 7 years later when my body really started bouncing back a bit. Again, I'm not saying I'm better. I'm just saying it's getting better. And you'll be okay. That's all of you will be okay. We'll get there. We'll get there together, because I still have a long way to go. And, and I'm not going to quit. And so I hope you guys don't quit either. And I think I'm going to say goodnight too, honestly, Dami. But if you guys, seriously, for real, message me, you guys. And I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of you too. And I think you're going to surprise yourself at how awesome you're going to do. Honestly. I think you are going to be surprised at your own strength and how you just keep going and how you keep getting better and better. So, and we're going to be here right behind you, supporting you the whole way. And that's why I ultimately decided this right here, this conversation is why I ultimately decided that even if this situation, if we were like perfectly content tomorrow, if we were like perfectly content with, Mel's situation tomorrow, that I still wouldn't want to walk away from you guys. I'm so glad you shared your story with me tonight. Thank you for sharing with all of us, and thank all of you guys. I do hate to, as always, I have a hard time hanging up. But I really should go to sleep. Now I have to be up in like 3 hours. But I will be back. I'll be back now that we got everything worked out, and figured out what we're going to do and just kind of talked everything through and whatever. I definitely will be back more often. I'm not going to, let this keep me off any longer. There really were just things that had to be dealt with and had to be figured out. And I didn't want to even be up here saying things about the situation until I was sure what I thought, about the situation. So I'm sorry there was a break, but it should never be that long again. And I will see you guys probably, I don't even know. You guys, I don't even know what day of the week it is. I'm not going to lie. Is it Friday? I'll be here all over the weekend. I'll probably go live again, maybe on Saturday, something like that. Good night, sweet cheeks. Thank you guys for the gifts. And I was gonna tell Dami thanks again, and sorry for any gifts I missed. I'm trying to figure out. I had it figured out once before how I could go and look so I could thank people who I had missed, or I could see who sent what gifts. And I'm still trying to figure that out, and I will. And so if I missed any gifts, I'm sorry, but I will probably be messaging you to thank you for them at some point. And I really do. I appreciate I appreciate the love, and I appreciate the fact that you guys are continuing to stick with us, despite how kind of messy everything got for a minute. And I hope that everyone out there has a wonderful evening, day, night. I hope you remember that you're beautiful. Never forget how fucking beautiful you are, how strong you are, and how loved you are, and that even when it feels like you're alone, that you're not alone. You may be physically alone in your world or your life right now, but I swear to you, you're not alone. And so I would just ask and implore all of you that if there's ever a time that the struggle is too much and you just feel like you have nobody to talk to, please reach out. Please reach out to me, and please reach out to all of us. Honestly, this group of people has shocked me with how lovely they've been. And I truly believe that nobody that I've met in the past few months, the people I've gotten close with, that they would want any of you out there to suffer in silence or suffer alone. Certainly, please don't give up. No matter what you do, don't give up, because I believe it's going to get better. I believe it's going to get better. I don't believe this is the end of the story. I mean this as in, I know that the world itself seems hopeless these days, right? But I don't think this is the end of our story, okay? And I think that we're going to get there, you guys. Everything's going to be okay. I know what I'm saying, but it may not be entirely clear what I'm getting at here. But you're never alone. Just know that. So I hope that anyone who's hearing my voice right now knows that you are not alone. And if it feels like you are, it's because I believe sometimes it's because the world is designed to feel that way in a lot of ways. I believe that as much as technology allows us to meet each other from across the country like this, I think technology separates us too, right? Like it makes us, it makes it easier. It makes it easier to not be around people. And I think maybe sometimes it intensifies the feelings of being alone, or like that you're, like everybody has somebody but you or whatever. I don't know. I just think social media has a way of doing that to us, of making us feel a way that is not necessarily true. So I'm just saying, just please remember that no matter what, we are all in this together. We really are. We are in this together, and I will fight for you. And I thank you guys for supporting me throughout all of this. And I love you guys. And again, please reach out anytime. I'm hoping to catch up on all my messages tomorrow and never get this far behind on them again. I don't ever want anyone to feel alone. And that's the main reason that I decided, despite the way this all imploded, that I'm not going to walk away from you guys, because there are too many beautiful people that I've met, and each one of you is worth fighting for. I will fight for you. I will stand by you, and I love you guys tonight and always. I love you, love you, love you. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, night, wherever you are. If you're about to go to sleep, sleep well. If you're just waking up, have a lovely day. And don't forget that your face is beautiful, and your heart is beautiful, and your soul is beautiful, and you're amazing. And you can do anything you put your mind to. I love you guys, and I am really gonna hang up now. But please don't forget that. Please don't forget that no matter what you're going through, you can get through it. You absolutely can. And there are so many of us out here who care. And I will talk to you guys probably again on Saturday. I love you so much and have a lovely day, night, evening, weekend. Talk to you guys soon.